So basically derivation goes like this. First of all, we shall consider both the spans separately, AB and BC, and respective free bending moment diagrams will be drawn, which are shown in green color here. Okay, they are shown in green color. Now in this uh, first spans bending moment diagram, which is parabolic variation, one strip has been considered whose length is dx, and for this bending moment diagram, area under the curve is nothing but bending moment. Okay, so similar strip at the same distance has been considered in fixed bending moment diagram. What is fixed bending moment diagram? Again, separate out both the spans and assume MB as more than MA and MC, and assuming that MB for AB span and MB for BC span will be same, because rotation of this joint is going to be same, hence moment MBA and MBC will be same. Okay, so this dx is the strip again considered in this fixed bending moment diagram, and its corresponding centroidal distance, its area, all has been considered. Moment will be different, mx dash. Okay, moment will be different. Now after showing all these respective values, what we have to do is we have to consider the section at a distance x for mx and mx dash moments, and these moments from previous diagram here are there. Mx, this is plus value, minus mx dash. Okay, if you remember, fixed bmd is always negative, and uh, free bmd is always positive. You please try to understand this, make this correction. These will be treated as negative values, not plus. Okay, so net value at this section is mx minus mx dash, and according to basic differential equation, it is ei d2y by dx square, which is equal to mx minus mx dash. Now to this equation, now we have to multiply by x. It is simple algebra now. Okay, so multiply to this equation on both sides by small x. So this is the resulting equation. Next step, we have to integrate this equation considering the limits, which are nothing but the lengths of both the spans. Okay, 0 to L and 0 to L1, 0 to L2. So for first span, EI into integration from 0 to L1 of x d2y by dx square, it is equal to right hand side of the equation. We are dealing with derivation, so please try to understand and concentrate on each and every step. If you don't understand, please let me know. Next, we have to integrate this and expand and simplify the equation. So equation 1 is the simplified form of ei d2i by dx square into x equation. Okay, now here we shall substitute lower limit and upper limit. Before that, we need to substitute some boundary conditions. What are these boundary conditions? They are mostly related to slope and deflection. Okay, slope and deflection. Slope is theta and or dy by dx, and deflection is y. Okay, now what is our first boundary condition? When x is equal to 0, it means at support A, considering A as origin, we have 0 deflection value. So y is 0. So substitute x is equal to L1, second boundary condition. At x is equal to L1, y is 0. What is L? X is equal to L1, it means at support B. Here also deflection will be 0. But at this position, there will be some rotation. It will be assumed as theta BA. Okay, it will be theta BA. Next thing, as I explained earlier, area under the curve is nothing but bending moment diagram, and area under the curve is nothing but this integration term in the equation. Okay, where is that equation? Here. This first term mx into x dx is nothing but area under uh, span L1, uh, for which we have drawn the curve. So area of that particular curve is nothing but area of uh, free BMD on span AB. Okay, and x1 is the centroidal distance of this particular area from support A. Similarly, in fixed bending moment diagram, we will have A1 dash and x1 bar dash. Okay, so these are the two simplified terms from this equation. So it will be simply A1 x1 minus A1 dash x1 dash. Okay, so we are going to get this equation here, A1 x1 bar minus A1 dash x1 bar dash. So here one more thing we need to remember is x is equal to L1, second boundary condition that we have seen here. X is equal to L1 and dy by dx is theta BA. So that also we have substituted. So L1 into theta BA minus y is 0. Y is 0 when x is equal to L1. Okay. Now this is only algebra. So I don't think any more explanation is required. So please try to understand this. Second thing, next thing, A1 dash is the area of fixed bending moment diagram on span AB, which is nothing but the trapezoidal area. Again, we shall go to this uh, free BMD or fixed BMD area here, or here you will be able to understand. This is trapezoidal area on span AB. Okay. So what is the area of a trapezoid? Summation of parallel sides into distance divided by 2. So MA plus MB into L1 upon 2. Okay. And x1 bar dash is centroidal distance of this trapezoidal area. So both the values, that is fixed BMD or area of fixed BMD and its centroidal distance, we can write in terms of fixed end moments and span, which is what we have written here. So A1 dash is area of fixed BMD on span AB, which is summation of parallel sides MA plus MB into distance between these two parallel sides is L1 divided by 2. And x1 bar dash is MA plus 2MB divided by MA plus MB into L1 upon 3. Okay. Next, A1 x1 bar. Now we are just going to substitute the values. Okay. So A1 x1 bar is equal to MA plus MB divided by 2 into L1, which is here, into centroidal distance of trapezoidal bending moment diagram into L1 by 3. Okay. Which is equal to MA plus 2 times MB into L1 square by 6. So after substituting these values, A1 into x1 bar, okay, A1 is this term, x1 bar is this term. So you simplify this now, you will get MA plus 2MB times L1 square upon 6. So in the previous equation, this one, we are substituting now A1 x1 bar and A1 dash x1 dash bar. So EI into L1 into theta BA, which is this multiplication. Okay, second term will be 0. It is equal to A1 x1 bar minus this term A1 bar a1 dash into x1 bar dash. So these two terms we have substituted, left hand side and right hand side. After simplifying this further, this 6 has gone on left hand side, so it becomes 6 ei theta ba. It is equal to L1 we have got or brought on right hand side, so it becomes a1 x1 bar into 6 upon L1. Okay, because we have multiplied both the sides by 6, minus ma plus 2mb into L1. So this is our equation number 2. Now this is the equation when we are doing the analysis for span AB. Similar equation we can derive for span BC, and that will be here equation number 3. 6 EI into theta BC, it is equal to 6A2 into x2 bar divided by L2 minus MC plus 2MB into L2. Okay, so theta BC is slope for span CB at B. Please remember. So theta BA and theta BC will be equal and opposite. Now since these are going to be equal and opposite, now why are we going saying these two rotations will be equal and opposite? Because beam is statically and kinematically, statically determinate. Okay, beam is in equilibrium. I'm sorry, I will correct my statement. Beam is statically indeterminate, kinematically also indeterminate, but it is in equilibrium. Okay, it is in equilibrium. So for keeping our assumption correct that beam is in equilibrium, which is practically the case, we need to find some compatibility condition. And what is that compatibility condition? Rotation of joint on both the ends is equal and opposite for intermediate support. Okay, because there is only one support which is undergoing rotation, and the other supports are fixed, they are not undergoing any rotation. So this is being an intermediate joint, rotation on both the ends will be equal and opposite. Okay, so theta ba plus theta bc is 0. So by considering this, we can write equations 2 and 3 like this. Okay, now we have to make some more algebraical steps to further simplify this. So we have to add equations 2 and 3. Okay, because we are saying theta ba plus theta bc is 0. So after adding these two equations and further simplifying them, we are getting this equation where the second row, if you can see this equation we are getting. Okay, ma into L1, which is uh, moment on support A, into L1 is span of AB, plus 2 times mb, which is intermediate support moment, to mb times L1 plus L2. L1 is span of AB, L2 is span of BC, plus mc into L2, which is moment on support C, into L2 is span of BC. It is equal to 6a1 x1 bar divided by L1 plus 6a2 x2 bar upon L2. Now this equation is not complete, because there is one possibility which we have just mentioned. I have mentioned in the start of the session that if there is sinking of support, then what will happen? So we are not taken into consideration the effect of sinking. Okay, so when there is effect of sinking, it means if support B is going down, if the support B is going down by an amount delta, what will be modification in the equation? We will have to consider fixed end moment because of sinking also. And we already know what is fixed end moment because of sinking. It is minus 6 ei delta upon L square on both the ends. If you remember, it is same on both the ends. However, it will become plus for span BC and it will remain minus for span AB. Why? Because when we have derived the equation, we have said or we have assumed that B is going down with respect to A. Okay, in that case, delta will be assumed positive. Delta will be assumed positive, and then the resulting moments are anti-clockwise. We are treating anti-clockwise moments as negative, and these two moments are anti-clockwise on both the supports. For span AB, I am talking. Now, when we come to span BC, support B is down with respect to support C, but it is on the opposite end of B, not on left hand side. It is on right hand side of B. Okay, support C is uh, on right hand side of C. Relative to A, D is down. At the same time, relative to B, C is up. So when reverse is the situation, you will have to reverse the directions of fixed end moments and their signs also. So for span BC, fixed end moments will be clockwise. Very simple. Okay. So please remember the modified equation when there is sinking of support. Apart from this, there will be minus 6 EI into bracket delta 1 upon L1 plus delta 2 upon L2. So this is only the change that we have to consider. So this is the overall derivation for three moment theorem.